Welcome to Flow. Let's get started. Today we'll start off in a kneeling position. You'll need something like a strap or a t-shirt or a towel for today's session. Bring your hands to rest on your knees or your thighs. Allow your eyes to close or find a soft gaze. And take these first few moments to bring focus and awareness to your breath, to bring yourself into your body and notice the movement of breath. Allow your shoulders to release down your back. And think of any tension that you're holding on to in your neck or your shoulders just melting away with your next breath. Blink your eyes open. Reach your arms out to the side, maybe pulling the arms back behind you as you lift your chin. And then exhale. Bring your palms together, round your chin to your chest. Take that again, pull your hands back behind you, shoot your chest forward. And again,
we'll
exhale,
take this
round,
3 more
reach your
times.
fingertips forward.
Just finding a little bit of movement through the ribs, through the chest, through the shoulders. Maybe feeling a little more range of motion with each round, with each set. Allowing yourself to hang out for a moment in each posture. So you can go even a little bit deeper. After this last one, bring yourself to a tall position. Bring your hands to rest on your shoulders. Draw your elbows forward and start to make a big circle with your elbows. So you're going forward, up, back, and around. And take a few of these, just finding some nice movement into the shoulder girdle area. And then start to take this in the opposite direction. We'll take like 6 or 7. And if your shoulders are kind of reaching up, that's okay. Allow that to happen. And then slowly release. Bring your right hand off to the side. Come up onto your right knee. Extend your left leg. And then reach your left arm up towards the ceiling. And then bring your left arm over your left ear. And start to circle through your left arm. So it's coming in front of your face, up towards the ceiling and around. And I'll allow a little bit of heaviness with this motion, almost like a pendulum swing. And then start to move these circles in the opposite direction. And the idea here is just to bring a little more range of motion into your shoulder girdle as you actively push down into your right hand. You can allow your right ear to release down to your right shoulder to find a little more opening into the left side of your neck. Move yourself back to a kneeling position through center and switch. Come over onto your left hand, extend your right leg. Reach your right arm up to the ceiling. Maybe you gently lower your left ear towards your left shoulder. Reach your right arm over your right ear, and then start to bring your right arm in front of your nose and draw huge circles, stretching and reaching through the fingertips. Actively push down into your left palm. Keep your hips open, and you can almost think of this as like a big pendulum swing happening through your wrist. And then switch and start to move this in the opposite direction. Again, actively pushing down into the left hand, finding a nice opening into the front of your right chest as you move around into your right shoulder. Take one more big circle here and bring yourself down to a sitting position. So in this sitting position, you can bring your feet a little bit wider, flex your feet, bring your hands so they're a little wider than your shoulders. Your fingers will point away from each other. And we're gonna take some very gentle circular motion. Getting a little more open into your chest. So really lean back into your hands, dig your heels into the mat, and start to find this circular motion. So you're finding this beautiful stretch into the fronts of your shoulders. Move this around in one direction, and then start to move this around in the opposite direction. Getting nice and open into these spaces. Find a few more moments here. And then slowly release and bring yourself up to a forward fold. Ragdoll forward fold, soften your knees, drop your head. Bring your hands to the nape of your neck, interlace your fingers. Maybe your elbows are resting on your shins or your thighs. Keep the bend of your knees. And now interlace your fingers at the base of your spine and allow your hands to drop down so you can really open through the fronts of your shoulders. Again, keep that softness through your knees. Shake your head no, shake your head yes. Find a few more moments here. And then release your hands, keep the bend of your knees, and slowly, slowly roll yourself up to stand. Push down into your feet. As you rise up, stack through the spine, shoulders, chin, and gaze are last to arrive. Bring your hands to your shoulders and start to roll your elbows forward, up, and back, finding these big circles now in the standing position. And maybe notice if you're able to find even a bigger circle here, actively trying to pull your elbows back behind you and have a soft little bend through your knees. And then start to circle in the opposite direction. You can go a little bit slower here. And take a few more. Try to be loose through your neck. And now we'll move this onto a whole arm circle. So starting with your right arm, bring your feet a little bit wider. Bring your right arm forward, up, and back like a huge backstroke. And do the same with your left arm, going forward, up, and back. And keep this moving. I like to add in my upper body just a little bit more here and really peel the heart space open as each arm presses back. Have a bend of your knees and gaze towards your hand as it's pressing back behind you. Find a few more of these going backwards. And then we're going to take this the opposite direction. So think of like a front stroke. Your right arm goes forward, up and forward, left arm, and a little side to side with your torso. So for this one, you can be a little more bent over with your chin somewhat tucked into your chest, and you can have a little shift of your weight from foot to foot. Try to allow this to be free. And take a few more. You can go as slow or as quickly as feels good through your body. The last one here, bring yourself back to your upright standing position. Bring your feet a little bit closer together. Grab your elbows, so you're kind of crossing your arms across your body, and just take a moment to shift your elbows from side to side, finding a little bit of weight. We'll take a cross body stretch here. So bring the left arm across your body, make a little hook with your right arm as you bring your gaze over. And then extend your left arm out to the left and bring your gaze over your right shoulder. We're going to move between these two. So bring the left arm across your body, gaze over your left shoulder. And then extend your left arm and gaze over your right shoulder. So a little more of a something for the neck here. Let's do it again. Bring the left arm across your body, make a hook as you gaze over your left shoulder. And then extend your left arm, gaze over your right shoulder. And one more time, left arm comes across your body, gaze over your left shoulder. And extend your left arm as you gaze over your right shoulder. Bring yourself back to center. Take a moment just to shake it out. And we'll move this to the opposite side. So the right arm comes across. Make a hook with your left arm and gaze over your right shoulder. Breathe into this space. And then extend your right arm and gaze over your left shoulder. Think of pushing actively through your right hand. Let's do that again. Bring the right arm across your body, gaze over your right shoulder. And then extend the right arm out to the side and gaze over your left shoulder. Think of actively pushing the right arm away from you. Let's do it again. Right arm comes across, gaze over your right shoulder. And then right arm comes out, gaze over your left shoulder. And one more time, right arm comes across, gaze over your right shoulder. And then extend your right arm and gaze over your left shoulder. Push something away with your right hand. Bring yourself back to center. Take a moment to shake out through your arms. This is where we'll grab that prop. So either a strap or a towel or a t-shirt can work as well. Grab the item in both hands. Extend your arms out in front of you. And then reach your arms up overhead. And start to flip your shoulders so your hands and the item can come back to the back of your body. And then reach your arms back behind you, lifting up overhead, and then bring the item so it touches the fronts of your thighs. And then as you're moving through this, adjust your hands. So if this is feeling pretty easy for you, bring your hands a little bit closer on the item and then try it there. And it's just a little bit of trial and error. And in that little sticky spot that we all find when the shoulders are kind of flipping under, take an extra moment to allow your shoulders to be open, hold in that stretch, and then complete the circle. And we're gonna do 10 of these. So it's gonna take a good amount of time, but this is really healthy to do for your shoulders, for continuous range of motion through your shoulder, to find stretch. And as you're using this prop, whatever you're using, a strap or a t-shirt, imagine that you're trying to rip the strap apart. So you're pulling your hands away from each other as you're moving through, and your shoulders are gonna have a little bit of movement there, and that's okay. Just notice that movement, be very articulate and specific about what you're doing here. So try not to move too quickly. And notice that time when you kind of have to flip the palms to allow the strap to keep moving towards the back. And you may start to tire out a little bit through the shoulders. That's okay too. Keep pushing down with your feet. Stand up nice and tall through the crown of your head. And we'll take one more here, going forward, up and back. And then bringing the strap so it goes back, up and forward. And then release your strap or your item down to the ground and take a moment just to shake everything out. Be super loose through your shoulders, through your arms, your wrists, and your hands. Once again, interlace your fingers at the base of your spine. Bring your feet about hips width distance apart, soften your knees, and find a forward fold, almost as though you're trying to get your torso to rest on your thighs. Allow your knees to be bent, allow your skull to be heavy. Take a few moments here. You can shift from side to side. Now bring the backs of your hands to your lower back and try to press your elbows towards your thighs. Finding a little bit of a stretch. It can be kind of intense into your shoulders. Actively push the backs of your hands into your lower back as you push your elbows forwards. And now bend your knees and bring yourself all the way down. We're coming to a seated position, cross-legged seat. Take a few more moments just to be noodly through your upper body, through your shoulders, through your head. And then bring yourself into a tall, upright, still position. Allow your eyes to close or find a soft gaze, and we'll just finish our session here with a few big breaths. Thank you for joining us today. And that's your flow.